What is up, YouTube? I'm Devon DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Today I got a video for you guys. This is the human population through time. Now, I love watching videos that monitor things based on time periods, like a real-time update on certain stuff. Kind of like I did some videos where it was a chart and it monitored like the highest selling musical acts throughout modern music history. Well, it was only from '69, so technically not all of modern history, but a lot of modern history. And it showed like which artists were trending and which artists were falling down based on like each quarter of the year, and it just progressed all the way until it got to the current day. This is what I like. So hopefully this thing will go all the way back to like the first humans, and it'll stretch and show it progress as time goes on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check this out. This video was uploaded by the American Museum of Natural History. I have been wanting to go to a museum all of my life. As a kid, one of my biggest interests were dinosaurs, and I never actually got to go and see like a dinosaur fossil or a skeleton on display at a museum. I've never actually gone to a museum, but that's been one of my dreams since I was a kid. My mom says that she took me to a museum when I was real little, but I was too young to remember. But one day. But let's go ahead and check this out. One more thing, before I start, be sure to watch the original video. That way you can give the original content creator a view, and they can continue to make the content that we all enjoy. If you want to show support for the original content creator, always show support for their original videos. Don't watch the reaction without watching the original first. Now, with that being said, hopefully right now y'all go watch it and come back. Trust me, just pause it or go to another tab or whatever. I'll still be here. Let's go and jump into this and see what it has to offer. American Museum of Natural History. I heard that there was an event in early human history that like almost threatened to extinct humans. I could be wrong for all I know. I just heard that somewhere. I forgot exactly where I heard it, so put that with a grain of salt. If you have any more details about that, if that was real, go to the comment section and let me know. Let me know I'm not stupid. Maybe this video will talk about it if it did happen. I don't know. With the advent of farming, growth picked up. By 1 AD, human population reached approximately 170 million people. Yeah, of course, now we have countries that are more than that. Year 1 AD. Population 170 million. Each dot represents a million people. Got the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire. I want to see how many dots disappear when Genghis Khan and them pops up. The Silk Road. Alright, dots are getting a little more frequent. You know what's interesting? Life began in Africa, but looking at this chart, it looks like Africa is like scarce. Like there's not really a lot of people in Africa right now. I know that probably has to do with technology and all other stuff. Maybe with the empires, there was more opportunities, and maybe it was healthier or something. I don't know. The golden age of India, or as Bill what was his name again? Bill Wirtz. He would say, "The golden age of India." All right, the Roman Empire disappeared. The Mayan, or the peak Mayan. All right, birth of Islam. Smallpox in Japan. Hold on 1 second. Go back. I want to see if any dots disappear. No, not really. I don't really see any dots disappearing. Gunpowder is invented. A game changer in warfare. 250 million so far. Navigation compass, or navigational compass. Mongol Empire. Okay, let's see those dots disappear. Oh yeah, in China they're going fast. Wow. It looks like China lost like half their population from the Mongols. Bubonic plague. Oh, there goes some more dots disappearing. Oof. You actually see the dip in the chart on the bottom. Europeans have arrived in the New World. Transatlantic slave trade. Surprised you don't see any dots disappearing from this. I know it was over a longer period of time, so it probably wasn't a significant hit to be noticeable on a chart like this. Industrial Revolution. Huh. It, that's interesting. I was looking at the transatlantic slave trade, and I was wondering if certain spots of the like purple hue or whatever was going to disappear as certain countries like abolished slavery. Right now, it looks like they're going into the late 1800s, and it says it's still active, even though at this point it should have ended. There, now it's disappearing, but World Wars. Wonder how many dots are going to disappear for World War II. Oh, too late. We're at 6, 7, 8. Unless it's projected now. So by 20, I don't know what year is it on right now. That's the only bad thing. It doesn't have an indicator on what year the chart is on at that particular point. Like I can only guess maybe like 2050. It's at like 9.5 billion. Okay, there we go. 11 billion by 2100. Leveling off. If current trends continue, global population will peak at 1 billion around 2100. Growth is slowing because average fertility rates are falling in nearly every country. If fertility forecasts are slightly off, our peak population will peak lower. So pretty much people are having less kids or higher. It took 200,000 years for our population to reach 1 billion. It took 200 for our population to reach 7 billion. Medicine to do that to you. As our population has grown, so has our use of Earth's resources. Very true. Choices we make today, family planning, reduced consumption, pollution controls, habitat protection, affect the future of our species and all life on Earth. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, come on. Nope. That's all. See, for me, overpopulation was always one of the biggest things that I think that humans should be worried about. I mean, besides like global warming as well. But the idea that like the Earth only has so many resources that we can use. So the soonest we can get to renewable resources, the better. Like, we need to try to find some way to try to get to renewable resources at some point very soon. I mean, I feel like we could have been taking care of this, but the only thing that's really keeping us from getting to the point where we should be are like greed, politicians, corporations, things like that. People that are using outdated means of resources or means of taking care of ourselves, but because it makes them money, they don't want to go away from it, so they're trying to fight any type of change that will lead to something better. I mean, obviously change is going to come at some point. Change always comes. We know this because Sam Cooke and Ian Malcolm have told us this. You can't stop change. And at some point we'll get to where we need to be. So like a lot of people like to have these like doomsday predictions where they think like, oh, the Earth is going to this is going to happen, this is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be that bad, mainly because people underestimate humans. People underestimate our will to survive. People underestimate what people will do when you're pushed against the wall and you have to do something. And I believe that at some point we will put our foot down and start forcing some change if it doesn't come around. I really believe that all the corporations and stuff like that, eventually they're going to get to the point where they're going to have to worry about, our interests. And I'm not saying they're going to do it I'm not saying they're going to do it just out of the goodness of their heart. Sometimes they're like, for all I know, it could be a violent overturn, but at some point it will be an overturn. Who knows? Maybe I'm just being optimistic though. Optimistic with a violent revolution. Wow. But yeah, I mean, the future of humanity is just a gigantic void of unknown that we have no idea what could possibly be there, but I always look forward to it. We humans have only gotten smarter as time has gone on, despite what some people on the internet might want you to think or make you think based on what they like to say and do. But humans have gotten smarter as time gone on, and as time goes on and continues to move forward, humanity is going to get put in the hands of more people that are willing to make change and do things for the benefit of the planet and for the benefit of humanity as a whole. And I feel like the people that are holding everybody to like past standards, whether it's our dependency on finite resources like oil and gas and things like that, or people that just implement policies based on how much money they can make as opposed to what it can do for humanity in the long run. I feel like eventually they will all get old, die out. And I mean, obviously it'll present new problems too. New problems are going to come up, but it'll be problems that hopefully won't have to deal with this. Also, I have a feeling and this isn't necessarily related to population, but another thing that is interesting that I have a personal opinion on is I think that evolution is going to be completely different for humans. I feel like, because evolution is based on natural selection, or at least that's what the main theory of evolution is, natural selection. We humans have got to the point where we can pretty much manipulate like survival of the fittest and stuff just based on our ability to take care of ourselves. Like, normally people that would have a hard time surviving and in what evolution would dictate would be the ones to most likely to die out, and like stuff like that. Now we can take care of those people and we can help them, and they can live in a full life and have kids and, you know, things like that. I think that humanity might have hit the peak of evolution at this point. I can't see us making too much of a drastic change. And if there is something that we will evolve for to, I think it'll be more in regards to the who we are now, like who we are at this very moment, or not who we are now, but our lifestyle right now. Because who we are right now, we're still using evolution formula that correlates with how humans were at one particular point in the past. Like, the reason why it's so easy for our bodies to like maintain fat and stuff like that is because our bodies are still programmed to believe that food is a tough resource to come around to. So when you eat certain nutrients and stuff, your body is trying to cling to it because it doesn't know when the next time you're going to eat is. And now we're just not in that lifestyle anymore. Like, just 100 years ago, we couldn't even refrigerate food, really. Well, maybe some people could, but a majority of people couldn't refrigerate food. So it was like you had to eat what you had to hunt and stuff. You had to get stuff fresh, or you had to get it cooked a certain way. It was dried or something that would allow it to live for a long time. But either way, the last 100 years, you can even go back the last 500 years, our bodies haven't really evolved that much since then. So we're still in that, our bodies are still in that, like, I wouldn't say mindset, but something like that. But I think that in the future we will evolve to cater to our current living conditions, where maybe your body will start to burn off fat at a faster rate. I think people will have less muscle density and things like that because of our lifestyle being a little more sedentary. I feel like we'll be smarter. Maybe the way we see things may be either better or worse, because we have technology to help us assist with vision. So for all we know, our vision could get worse, but maybe our senses will get better. Our ability to hear stuff, our ability to smell and taste stuff might get more adept. So who knows? But that's just a lot of theories that I have. Like I said, a lot of it could just be based on bullshit. It's just some stuff I like to sit around and think about a lot. I mean, sometimes I'll read articles on it, but I don't read a lot of articles on it. So I am obviously a layman that has no idea fully what I could be talking about. But if you have any theories or opinions, let me know in the comment section down below. And I look forward to seeing what you guys got to say. This video's gone on rather long, a lot longer than I thought it would. Just me rambling for about 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the deuces. I'm Devon DaVinci. Hopefully you've just been a little bit more enlightened. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on to another video. So until then, I'm gonna give you the deuces, and I'm signing out. Deuces.